Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome back to another Islam podcast. I'm your host for today, Abdullah Patel. And I know there is a Jays game going on, so I promise we're going to make this one a quick episode. But, just to get things rolling, I'll introduce our guest. So we have Mr. Abdulaziz Khan. So welcome to the podcast, Double A.
Salam, everyone. How are you guys?
Alhamdulillah, I've been good. Hope everyone in the chat has been good. Um, but yeah, we have a week 3 and week 4 to cover some pretty interesting games that happened over the last couple of weeks. As well, just one thing to note for the podcast going forward, we are looking to move it to Tuesday evenings permanently, just because Wednesdays and Thursdays just might not work for everybody due to other hockey schedules and stuff. So we're planning on doing them Tuesday evenings. Um, and yeah, well, we hope to have you guys keep joining us. But to start off with, we'll start with week 3, and we'll jump into this. I know we have 6 games to cover, 2 player of the weeks, and then some waiver transactions. But we'll get it started with week 3 actually. Um, so this game, actually, let me share my screen 1 second.
Yeah.
I gotta get the scores. I gotta get the scores up. But okay, so we have Team Ikhlas versus Team Taqwa. The final score, you guys are not like, it's not a mistake. It was 8-7. Taqwa ended up winning, scoring 8 goals on 15 shots. I think this is the biggest surprise. They had 8 goals on 15 shots, so every 2 shots was a goal. And yeah, Team Taqwa was firing on all cylinders. They got their first win of the season, um, and Ikhlas got a loss. So not the best result for Ikhlas. Um, but yeah, this game was probably one of the games of in Islam history to watch, because it was back and forth. There was a big lead, big comeback, um, a pretty physical game, and yeah, definitely a great game if you're a neutral or just watching, but definitely not if you're the one that's playing. Yahya Kotiwala, 3 goals, 3 assists. It was his first game of the season, I believe. So 6 points already in one game. Irfan Unia, GM of Ikhlas, with 2 goals, and then Adam Hafiji with 2 goals and 2 assists, who really put on a show. This in week 3. So Double A, did you get a chance to watch this game? What was your
Yeah, I
analysis?
watched the I watched all of it actually, and I think Takwa did what Takwa always does in fashion is trickle in player by player. They went down 4-1 in the first half of the game, and they stormed back. And my game was next, so I didn't catch the second half. But when I came out back from the locker room, I saw 8-7. I was like, "What happened?"
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I basically got almost all of this game. I know a lot of the guys in the media team were like going crazy, like, "Oh my goodness, there's no way." It's 8-7. I thought it was like typo. I didn't think it was actually 8-7. And then when I came in and I saw it, I was like, "There's no way."
Yeah,
But yeah,
crazy
this
game.
game was definitely one of the games to watch. Highest scoring game, at least in Hanger history. Um, and yeah, shout out to Takwa for getting the first win of the season. And unfortunately, Team McCloss couldn't get it done in this one. So moving on to the next game. So Double A, you played in this game. This was a 3-3 draw with Haya and Ihsan. Haya still winless, but Salim Malik with 2 goals. And hey, we have you over here, second star of the game, 1 assist, and Altaf Panchadi with 1 goal. So yeah, why don't you kind of walk us through this game and talk about your game?
Yeah, I think it was a good game for us overall. We got out to a strong lead, 3-1, I think, in the beginning, and then we just took a bad pen at the end when it became 3-2 off of like 2 lucky bounces, and then they had a PP to end. They had a major, I think, 4-minute PP at the end of the game, which they converted on with the 6-on-4. Um, but overall, yeah, it was a good game. I wish we had closed it out, but I mean, kudos to Haya. They're that defensive team that never backs down. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw. They looked a little different. Like they were firing. Some newer guys came into lineup that have probably not played with Luke and Akib before. Yusuf Ngar, Muin Barucha. Um, and they really made an impact right off the bat. I know Ihsan was leading, but Haya was able to get it back. But
Yeah.
this was one of those games where it could have gone either way. There were a couple of really big saves from Khalid Mufti, some big saves from Hamza Butt, and I think this was definitely one of those more even games in the evening, and it's
For
good to see you
sure.
got on the this on the score sheet. So
Yeah.
yeah, Ihsan is now 1-1-1. Haya is like Ikhlas, still winless. So yeah, let's hope that we see them get some wins in the following weeks.
Yeah. No doubt.
Moving on to this game. This game was like the last game. It was a really really back and forth game. Rida with I believe it was 2-0 early lead.
Hmm.
Yusuf and Dawood Siddiqui literally passing to each other all the way down the ice and finishing off with Dawood Siddiqui. So Yusuf Siddiqui with 3 assists. But we had some big plays from GM of Iman Huzaifa Mandra and Ismail Mandra, who when asked why Huzaifa Mandra drafted Ismail Mandra, Ismail Mandra's answer was he has the same name as my dad. I'm not lying. That was his actual
Yeah.
reply.
Yeah. I
So
remember.
yeah, Ismail Mandra with a big goal to get Iman that tie. Iman gets their first tie of the year and is up to 3 points now in the season. And yeah, this was a really good game. And I think from Rida's perspective, they could have had a lot more. They had so many chances, 26 shots, but Josefa Mahida really stood on his head this game. There were probably 3 or 4 2-on-0s that, the Siddiqui brothers could have finished off, but, Josefa Mahida stood strong and kind of kept his team, with a point. So, yeah, shout out to the goalies in this game. And yeah, Yusuf Siddiqui with another 3 assists. So he's probably, going up there with for the scoring title. So we
For
have a
sure.
comment here, Ahmed Mobeen, who's on Team Rida, saying Rida too many penalties. Can't win if you are shorthanded. Definitely agree. Penalties do kill, and that Iman power play. I believe they were missing one of their GMs. I may be mistaken though, but were still coming out on all cylinders. So yeah, a great result for them, I think. And yeah, moving on to the last game of the evening, I played in this game. It was Sabr versus Yakin, and Team Sabr had, full disclosure, 2 guys on the bench, and
Yeah.
before the game, when we were looking at positions, who was going to play what, we had one defenseman, and we had one more defenseman spot, and nobody wanted to raise their hand. Like we were like, who's playing D? And we were all looking around at each other. No one wanted to play defenseman. Alhamdulillah, Umar Sheikh raised his hand and said, you know what, I'll go D, and he was solid. Um, Yakin did get the first goal. Safwan Samurdia with the goal, off and running for the season. It was a rebound in front. No chance for Fahim on that one. But you can see 26 shots by Yakin and only 1 goal allowed for Fahim Degmaster. So he is definitely starting the season in form, and he's showing us why he was drafted in the first round and the first goalie drafted away from every other goalie in the draft. So yeah, we have Mobeen here talking about the glove save with Fahim. A really good goalie. And I know in the draft we had a reaction where we were like, what is Sabr doing? Sabr knew what they were doing, drafting Fahim Dagmaster in the first round. And yeah, Sabr is without a win and without a loss. So 3 straight
3-2.
ties. So I don't know if that's a good thing or if it's a bad thing. At least it isn't losses. This could have easily been a loss. I know before the game we were expecting a loss because Yakin is, treated as like the best team to beat this season, but we held it down. Alhamdulillah, I was able to score in this game as well. But shout out to our defense and our goalie for really just kind of keeping it at 1-1.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that we have some, I believe, highlights to show. Or no, first we have the player of the week for week 3. And that was Adam Haffiji. 2 goals, 2 assists, third star of the game. And yeah, we'll watch his video short. We'll watch his video here and kind of just see what he has to say just about the game. Okay, great video. And yeah, congratulations to Adam on Player of the Week. So we actually don't have graphics for week 4 because it just happened, but no worries. We'll go through it on the website. And yeah, so week 4 we had first game. Let me zoom in here so we can all see. That's better. Iman versus Takwa. The final result was 3-3. Iman with another tie, and Takwa surprisingly coming off that huge win against Ikhlas last week wasn't able to get it done this week. I kind of caught this game and was pretty surprised that when I walked in and they said that Iman was winning 3-1. I was fairly surprised because the Takwa team being so deadly, they just weren't able to get their gears rolling. Oh, sorry. We have people saying that they can't hear the video. Really sorry, guys. I didn't see those comments, but I think it's something to do with the streaming platform. But inshallah, go check it out on our Instagram and in our WhatsApp chat. It was a great video, and yeah, inshallah, we'll I think we already posted, but we have a comment here from Dawood saying that Bika needs an award when he hits 100 career goals. First to 100 at the hanger, he's only 10 away. So, wow, that is a big a big achievement for Asif Bika, who has been firing for, probably 10 seasons straight now, and one of the more prolific scorers in our league. So, yeah, definitely shout out to Asif Bika. He had some big goals this week, and hey, he's only 10 goals away from 100 at the hanger, which is a pretty sick record. So yeah, but we'll start talking about the Iman game. Takwa did make a comeback at the end of the game. Abdulaziz, I don't know if you caught. Oh, actually, no, you weren't here this week, right?
No. Yeah,
No.
but I've heard the rumblings about the game.
Yeah, so Takwa came back, and I believe they scored in the last minute or like with a minute and a half left to tie the game. And yeah, Iman, coming out with a point, Takwa coming out with a point. But definitely, Iman wishes they could have closed it out and had that back.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, obviously Iman's playing with some new players this in week 4 as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good point. 1 second, I will kind of pull this up. So we have Arsal Bhatti here saying that he agrees Bika deserves a massive. Bika deserves an award for this massive milestone. I agree as well. It's something that the OC will look at, inshallah, when he does hit it this season or next season. And yeah. So sorry guys, I know I'm all over the place because I was just turning to watch the Jays game, but basically, we had some transactions actually this past week. So the first transaction of the evening, Rayan Mahmood was brought in on waivers by Iman. Muaz Tadwala, their third round pick, dropped out unfortunately, and he was not claimed. Rayan was not claimed by any team. He cleared waivers and joined Iman this week. So he did play with Iman this week. His career stats are 7 goals and 4 assists in 18 games. So definitely a big pickup, a fast centerman for Iman, and someone that I think can be the difference maker moving down the line. And the second transaction we had was the guy that we were talking about just a minute ago. Not Josefa Mandra's dad. It's Isma Mandra, the player in the league. He was claimed by Ikhlas after Shazib Mughal dropped out, who was their third round pick, and Naeem Akhtar was brought in, which Iman claimed. And so Isma Mandra reunites with the Malton boys on Team Ikhlas. And, I'm sure all parties involved are happy. Maybe not Hosli, who, lost, lost the same name as his dad. But
Yeah.
it's, all around, I think if Iman gains a good strong defenseman who's really physical and can kind of take charge on the back end, and Ikhlas gets yet another score to add to their snipers. So yeah, some big transactions in between week 3 and week 4, and Rayan did play with Iman in the first game. So the second game, Ihsan and Ikhlas. This game was 4-4, and we have Mobeen here saying, did Ihsan have another late game collapse in week 3 and 4? Yes, they did. To answer your question, yes,
Yeah.
they did. It was, I believe, 4-1 when I was last watching it. I think I had to go in while at 4-1, and when I came out, it was 4-4. So I couldn't believe it. But Dawood had 3 goals. He had a hat trick, and Ihsan just looked on fire in that first half. Ikhlas, they kind of looked all over the place. The defenders were pinching. No one was running back. Dawood was able to get score, I believe, 1 or 2 from the blue line or beyond the blue line, and his third goal was like a breakaway that he sniped over Musa's shoulder. But a big game for Team Ihsan and a big rally back for Team Ikhlas. So shout out to Shahid Voda. He kind of got it started. He scored 2 goals to kind of get his team back within it. And eventually Ikhlas was able to score 2 more in the dying minutes to secure another tie. So still without a win this season, Team Ikhlas, but I'm sure they're happy with the tie over a loss. So yeah, I don't know, Double A. What was the what was your group chat like?
Yeah, no, I think it was the same story of last week, the game before against Haya, where we went up 3-1. Same story. Defense kind of went like we got a good lead, we just couldn't hold on to it. And safe to say, even though I know that was in the chat, he's gonna rip us for he's gonna rip the entire team for that. He doesn't like those type of performances, but I mean, inshallah, we'll build off of it. But um, shout out to Irfan for the sick breakaway pass to him.
Yeah, so we have
Yeah.
Dawood here thanking the GM of Ikhlas for giving the ball away and giving him a beautiful breakaway pass. And we have Arsenal here saying credit to Khalid Mufti for keeping us at 4-4. It could have been a lot worse for Ihsan. So yeah, shout out to Mufti. I watched in the first half. He made a couple of diving saves, and Ikhlas was kind of looking in the sky like, how do we not score in this guy? So yeah, that could have been the difference maker for Team Ihsan, and I'm sure they'll be beating themselves up about the blowing that lead.
Yeah, because it could have been 2 wins, right? Back to back.
Back to back wins, yeah, it could have been back
Yeah,
to back wins, especially with how close the season is.
exactly.
Yeah. So Arsenal saying he wants to eat whatever I'm eating. I'm eating some pears and apples right now. So everybody, eat your fruits and
Stay healthy.
stay healthy. And
Apple a day keeps the doctor away.
yes, sir. We have Dawood here saying that holding a lead is overrated. He would know. He's blown 2 leads, and we have Irfan Unya replying to Dawood. No comment from him. So it's safe to say that I don't think he meant to give a pass to Dawood. Um, and moving on to the next game. Mobeen here getting us started early. Sabr was in trouble when their goalie was having potato chips pre-game. So
Let the
yeah,
man snack.
yeah, a pregame snack never hurt. Uh,
Exactly.
So Rida did beat Sabur. Sabur gets their first loss of the year, and they had Sabur had their full team, almost their full team for the first time this season, and it looked like it did not pay off. We Loki played better. Um, we Loki played better without a bench. So yeah, it was a 6-3 game. The beginning of the game, it was a long game for us. We were in the lead, or not lead. We were behind, I believe, almost instantly, and Rida just kept piling it on. The Siddiqui brothers, kept having those passing plays. Asaf Bika with a couple of big plays. Arsenal, and really some scoring from their whole lineup. Zahid Hussein has some couple of good plays. Zakaria Ali on the back end was really good at stopping it, and unfortunately we couldn't kind of get the job done. And yeah, definitely an off day for Deggy, but based off how good he was the first 3 weeks, we'll give him a week to to
Yeah,
to take off.
for
So
sure.
yeah, that one ends 6-3. Rida still undefeated, and they are flying. These guys look phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie, like we thought maybe the beginning of the season was a fluke, but they had their GMs back. These guys look like the real deal, and them and Yakin are, they actually take first place after this week because moving on to the last game, Yakin ties again. They're
Again,
15 with
yeah.
straight ties against teams they arguably should be beating. Um, so yeah, definitely a big result for Haya, who is still without a win, just like Ikhlas. So it's looking like Haya and Ikhlas are just not interested in winning this year. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting when those two end up versing. What happens. So
It's it's
yeah,
interesting because Ikhlas is a team that we know can score, but is lacking defensively, it seems. And then Haya's kind of flipped. Defensively, they're holding it down, but they have no offense.
definitely. So we'll look at standings. My bad, guys. I just took a big bite.
He needs a moment.
Okay, so 4 games in, Rida sits on the top with 3 wins and 1 tie with 7 points, unbeaten the whole season, and 19 goals for, 12 goals allowed. Well deserved. Nothing bad to say about the team. They look really good from the GMs all the way to their third line, who was really really pushing it and able to get the ball out, able to kind of kill the game a bit. Um, yeah, they look really, really good and well deservedly are in first place. Um, yeah, in second place we have Team Yakin, who 2 wins and 2 ties, 2 straight ties though, and have some really good goaltending from Arsenal Butty, who's coming off a summer playoff MVP performance. So yeah, shout out to Arsenal, shout out to Team Yakin for second place. Just to kind of remind everybody, the first 2 teams do get a bye all the way to the semifinals. First place gets to choose their opponent in the semifinals. So there's a lot up for grabs this season, and yeah, I know Team Rida, Team Takwa, Team Yakin are looking to keep it up and look to finish in the top 2. Moving into third place, third through fifth is tied at 4 points. We have Ihsan, Takwa, and Iman. Ihsan unbeaten in the last 3, Takwa unbeaten in the last 2, and Iman winless in the last 3. So yeah, this it's still very, very, very close. Abdulaziz, why don't you kind of talk about how his team Ihsan is feeling kind of after 4 games?
I mean, for us, I know obviously the team is familiar with each other, right? It's a familiarity team that Dawood always drafts. I think we just have to get our footing on defense, and then inshallah we'll be good. But again, like I look at the standings, and like for the likes of Ikhlas and Haya, you can't even count them out. They're like 1 win away from a playoff spot, and to like leap into third, right? So it's so tight that you can't really say anything. But I know for us, we're just taking it 1 game at a time, obviously. But with next week's schedule, it'll be interesting. There might be a bit of a shift because if I recall correctly, some of these teams that are fighting for these playoff spots are going to be playing each other.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so we have Team Subber who are in the last playoff spot. As you guys know, top six do make playoffs, and yeah, Team Subber still without a win, one loss, three ties. Um, and yeah, they'll be looking to get their first win this week. And moving into the final two spots, you have Team Ikhlas and Team Haya winless still. Two losses and two ties for both. And Team Haya, as you can see, only 7 goals scored. These guys are, they're going to be looking for getting to get some scoring in the next couple of weeks because Team Subber and Team Haya both are struggling to get their scoring boots on. We look at Team Ikhlas, 15 goals for. It's tied for second most in the league. So
They just give up a lot.
yeah.
19 given. I think that's the highest in the league right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. So I know Musa is going to be wanting to put in a big performance for Team Ikhlas this week, and yeah, inshallah he gets it done. So we'll look at the schedule if you guys aren't aware, the full schedule is also posted on the website. But for this week, we'll highlight the 4 games, and yeah. So at 8 p.m., Haya and Sabr. So we have the two teams that are in the bottom three, both teams without a win. Let's see if they stay winless because they could tie and
Yeah.
still be winless after 5 games. Um, Abdulaziz, what do you think Haya needs to do to kind of beat Sabr in this game and get their first win?
I think for Haya, the biggest asset that they have that I haven't seen yet is their legs, right? They have the likes of Muin, Yusuf Engar, Maz on that front, on that line one, right? But I haven't really seen that line one click yet. So I think if they can really get that line one going and get that, scoring touch from those 3 players, because they're all remarkable players that can score, right? They'll definitely kind of run away with it because we can see it in the stats. The D is there. The D is doing their job. They're holding the games to like 1 goal games, only allowing one, if not two, right? So it'll really come down to can those top key players of Haya get that scoring done for them?
For sure. Yeah, I think from a Sabr standpoint, we need to you know get active early. Like we can't go behind and then look to get that equalizer and then look to win. We need to kind of just go get off running right from the start. And we have the players to do so. Like we have such a fast GM trio, um, and very, very highly skilled IQ players that can definitely win. So it will be, I think, a battle between veteran and smart plays versus speedy, fast youngsters on Team Subber. I think the oldest player on Team Subber is like 25 or 26.
Yeah.
So, this Team Summer team is very, 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 very young compared to Team Haya with a lot of veterans. So it will be, you know, it will be good to see. We have Arsal Bhatti here saying, I want justice for Hamzaga, promote him to line 3.
Be
So
quiet, Buddy.
I don't know what that's about, but speaking
That'll
of
be something we talk about in the next game.
Yeah. Speaking of Gaya, we have Team Iman versus Team Yakin. So second place versus tied for third place. And Yakin is going to be looking to come out hard, and they're going to be looking to get their first win since week 2. So Team Iman is going to have a lot on their hands. So Abdulaziz, why don't you kind of take us through this?
Yeah, I think for Iman, the biggest key points for this game is obviously with their new guys that are going to be on the team now. Obviously, they can't. I don't think they can afford another tie because they've meshed pretty well with the team, and the 2 guys that are coming in have familiarity with the team. Naeem obviously played with Hosley in the summer. Rayan just kind of meshes really well into that line one for that team. So I think they're going to try to take advantage of that chemistry that they have on Yakin, right? And some of the guys that are on Iman, I won't take names, obviously do know the sweet spot on Arsenal on Yakin, right? So they'll definitely give them that insider scoop, right, on how to beat him. But I think for Yakin, obviously, they just need to find that scoring touch again, right? They had it in the first 2 games of the season. It's kind of fallen down a bit with the past 2 weeks being 1-1 games or like 1 goal games for both of their games, right? And I
Mhm.
know they've been missing key guys like Adam Ahmed, and some games they've been missing like Dippy, Mohamed Patel, right? So I think it'll be a close game, but I think it's really going to come down to who can take advantage of the goalies on the respective side. Because Iman
For sure.
knows how to play Butty, and I think Yakin also knows Mahida is a good goalie that they can try to beat.
Yeah. So we have Hamza Gaya talking in third person here, saying Gaya is injured.
That's cap.
So it's looking maybe Hamza won't be playing this week, and yeah, there'll be one less threat for Yakin to look out for. Um, Moving to 10 p.m., we have Rida and Ikhlas. First place against, but tied for last. This
Yeah,
is going to be, you know, this is going to be a tale for the rest of the season. Like, will Ikhlas be able to beat the speedy Siddiqui brothers and, that core of RC, Hamza Chaudhry, Asif Bika, and, Zakaria Ali? Or is Rida just going to be, you know, giving them a run for their money and putting up a huge number of goals against them like we saw last week. Um, which Ikhlas team will come out? I think what Ikhlas needs to do is tell their defensemen not to pinch this game because recognize who's on the other team. Because if you are a defenseman and you run into at least the hash marks, if you lose that ball, Yusuf and Dawood are going to be
they're
already
gone.
they're probably going to be in your crease by the time you turn around.
Yeah,
That's how fast they are, and that's not even an exaggeration. Like that's literally how they play. And so Musa is going to have to really watch those cross crease passes, because while everybody in the league knows him, they still work. So yeah, that's going to be a pretty big game. And yeah, let's see if Ikhlas can pick up their first W of the season because Haya or Sabr could also be picking up their first W of the season as well and they
that's
don't want
true.
to be going too behind.
Yeah.
Um, and then the last game of the evening, why don't you take us through this game? This is your game, so you guys are playing Takwa, and yeah, you guys are both tied for third place, so this is going to be a good game. So what do
Yeah,
you?
I think it's gonna come down really to for us it's gonna be defensively. We've got to clean up those type of plays that we've been making, especially when our offense has been getting goals for us. Right, we got to hold it down for and bail out Khalid. He's always making that first save for us, and we just got to bail him out, protect the lead. Like everyone says, defense wins games, right? Defense wins chips as well. And I think we're kind of praying that Takwa kind of trickles in and we can get off to an early lead, but let's see. But again, this Takwa team, we've seen it. They're putting up 7, 8 goals, 3+ every game, right? Nothing to count out. This is a very loaded team, right? I think our work's cut out for us, but uh, we're going to try our best for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't think Takwa can come later if it's an 11 o'clock game. If
You
they're
never
coming
know, man.
if they're coming late to an 11 o'clock game, then I don't know. It just might be I don't know. It might be a bigger issue. So yeah, we have Hamza guy saying that Arsenal but team coming for you. Hadi, get ready.
I thought he was injured.
And he's also calling you
I'm
for
not getting.
Hadi. So
Absolutely. Maybe in another lifetime where I'm on the same line with Dawood.
maybe. So yeah, so this is gonna be a pretty good game, and altogether, these four games are gonna be interesting,
Yeah.
especially as we near the halfway mark of the season. Which teams, if Subbers stays winless, I'm sure they're gonna be looking to make a move. Same with Ikhlas, same with Iman. Husli loves a trade. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. And Haya and Ihsan, who are not really big traders, let's maybe they'll make a move. So yeah, this season is already proving to be one of a more surprising seasons. So maybe Luke and Akib will start to make some trades, and Dawood maybe will break some of his 7-year contracts. So
Maybe.
yeah, but that's talk for another time. Inshallah, we'll have fun this weekend, and everybody be safe and have fun. Enjoy the long weekend coming up. But yeah, any last comments, Abdulaziz, before we end it?
No, I think that's it. I'm hoping. Obviously, I know a certain person got POW. Yeah, so I'm hoping that would plays in a Spider-Man costume, like Ursula said.
Yes, for sure. So yeah, Dawood did win Player of the Week. We don't have his video yet. Inshallah, when we do, we'll be posting that and sending in the league chat. So stay tuned for that. Inshallah, we see him in a in a Spider-Man
In a
costume.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
costume.
very very fitting because they were everything. They their Spidey senses were going off in the first half against Ikhlas. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how they face Taqwa, and it might be the hardest game that Ihsan has so
Yeah.
far. So yeah, inshallah, see you guys all on Friday, and go Blue Jays. I think it's 6-3 right now, and George Springer's up to bat. So I'll end it here. Inshallah, we next time we see you guys on Friday, the Blue Jays are already advanced, and go Jays, go.
Inshallah. Take care.